And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
Morning, San sisters. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How do you wake up? How do you wake up in the morning? Do you feel that good? Do you start to go? Because let me tell you something. We need to wake up starting with our feet on the ground, that happy, right? Why? Because our opening day, we open up our eyes. We thank Father, Mother, God. Hey, I'm here. I'm back again. And I'm safe and I'm sound. So why not rejoice it, right? My love, wake up. Here we are. Another beautiful day. We're in June. I don't know what today is, the 3rd, I think. Ooh, 3 is a good number, the trilogy, right? So we're going to let's dig in deep. Let's dig it in. So we are going to talk today about remorse and guilt. There seems to be a lot, not even just with the military, remorse and guilt. Because right now, what happens is we start putting those skeletons of our remorse and our guilt so far down in. Now we have triggers. Where's the trigger? Well, now we have to figure this out, right? So what do? Every time we find a trigger that's going to give us that feeling of remorse or guilt, we're going to write it down. Now we're going to figure it out. Is this just now? Is it present? Is it past? How far past? How far past is it? Where are we going with this? And people go, what is guilt and remorse? I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to read it to you. This morning, I typed in, I don't know if you can see it. Where is this crazy green screen? Anyway, so I just typed it in, right? The Merriam-Webster dictionary. And it says remorse as a noun, a gnawing distress arising from a sense of guilt of past wrongs. Okay, Webster. Let's kind of flip this, right? Because if it's a gnawing distress arising from a sense of guilt from past wrongs doing, the past wrongs doing is the trigger word, past wrongs doings. So we are here as catalysts. We are here on a mission, a life purpose, soul purpose. And we would not be here today if Father, Mother, God, your Savior, up above who made you, did not put you in these decisions. Why? Because we have to learn to think from our heart. So we have what? Freedom. If we start using this thing is going to capture what you don't want to be captured. Why? Because our egos and our judgments are surrounded by human conditioned belief systems and patterns. And then what happens to us? We slowly start using everything from here up, our voice, right? And our head. We get angry. We have remorse. I didn't mean to get angry. Well, then why did you? Because whatever you got angry with, you allowed that energy to come within. You allowed it. And now you're fighting ego and man. Here we go again. Human man. Man's egos and judgments, putting conditions, putting rules, putting stuff that not necessarily that we believe in, right? Evolution, here we go again. We'd be bludgeoning our babies or we'd be throwing our virgins in the volcano. We don't do it anymore. So why is it so hard for us to say, listen, I was on a task. This is what I did. As far as remorse, they're putting it on, not me. You're putting those conditions in my head. Now, if you can't tell yourself that you did it and it was just out of a whim. No, it was always an order of or designed to or have it in a lesson of 3. I know, but you can't get it out of your head. That's the problem. Why, MJ? Why can't we get it out of our head? Because our brains are conditioned to belief patterns. When we start removing some of these old conditions and belief patterns that we have been thrown into, man, then it's like, who says that? Who's that? Why that? Right? Where is that coming from? No, wait, let's go to guilt, right? Webster again. Let's look at that. So guilt is funny. Guilt can't just be one thing. If you look on Webster and you go through freaking Webster, guilt has a lot. And again, who made this? Who made these words? Who made these definitions for these words? Man did. Again. Do you understand? You understand where we're going with this remorse and guilt? Man's conditioned belief systems that filtrated our brain because we were born into that era or that ancestral line or that conditioned pattern. Subliminal. It's like debriefing, right? I don't know how you all got debriefed. But I got to tell you something with PTSD, how I got debriefed. Causing guilt and remorse. Why? No, they're removing it. The problem is it comes back. Sorry, big daddy government. It comes back. And it comes back into these beautiful souls that were placed here and a higher power than you, President. Higher power than any of the big monies who wants to control our planet with treason, right? Or power. It's what we're in right now. Right? Where's their remorse? Where's their guilt? They don't have it. They don't have that. It's not in their lifetime. And now you see how divinely and beautiful karma plays, right? Let's get back to guilt. Now that I went off that little tangent. Guilt as a noun, guilt as a noun, according to Mariam Webster, the fact of having committed a breach of conduct, especially violating law and involving a penalty. The jury will determine the defendant's guilt or innocence. Who the flip decides my outcome besides Archangel Gabriel and Father, Mother, God? That's who's going to decide me. So let's get it out of our head right now. What anybody else seems to think or wants to play that ego or that judgment. Okay? Because who the heck are they to decide my stance? That's our freaking, here you go. That's our community. That's our local government, our state, all the way up to federal. And who is he to do that? Or who are those juries? How many innocent men and women have got onto that executional chair and found out at the end, man was wrong. Man was wrong. And you killed an innocent man and persecuted an innocent man. I mean, my head goes back to Salem, the witch trials. How many did they persecute? Christ King ourselves? Persecution again. Man. Do you understand? How far back do we need to go? Man gives us our guilt and gives us our remorse. So when we start flipping these patterns and figuring out the triggers for that guilt and remorse, we cut them out and we figure out if it's this lifetime or we figure out if it's a past lifetime that our cellular data came back into us. No, some of you are going, she's full of crap. It worked for me. That's all I can tell you. And it has worked for a lot of PTSD that I handle, because they're learning how to flip patterns of old beliefs for guilt, violating a law. What law? Is it universal law, Father, Mother, God's law? Christians believe in the 10 Commandments, right? Then they have a lot of guilt because man wrote that. You believe that if they wrote those 10 Commandments, that Christ or God gave those 10 Commandments. Yes, universal law is to have love. So think about those 10 Commandments, right? But when you're on a soul purpose and you're on a life purpose, and Father God allowed you to come here for that purpose, why? Why are we then suffering? Why? Why is it that we suffer with this word guilt if it's man's law? It's a conditioned pattern. And here we go. Another, guilt by Webster, a state of one who has committed an offense, especially consciously. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Finally. Conscious, not provoked, nothing. Mental illness, before we condemn them, mental illness. We had no idea what triggered it. We have no idea what unbalanced chemistry of the brain. I when I see that, I think of people who are schizophrenic, who are bipolar, right? That's sad. But they came here on a purpose. Why? So we could learn, right? Did you ever see the people who have Tourette's? And people get angry because they'll scream profanities or they'll tick. They didn't even have a cause of action. That's who they are. And they live through life, right? They don't live through life blaming others, but they live through life and it's hard. So let's get our good conscious mind with no mental illness here, flipping our patterns of these guilts. Yes, you are here to survive. And there is not a man who stepped foot on the face of this earth from way back from the Neanderthal times that was not here in a survival mode. You are here to survive and you are here to learn. That is universal law of God consciousness.
So we have a comment on TikTok that says, it's from Wolfpack, says the only job of the judge is to deliberate between prosecution and defense.
Really? Okay, Wolfpack. If I'm understanding that comment, again, that's man's. Why is a judge allowed to make that decision? Why? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you that I've seen innocent people go down. I've seen innocent military people suffer their whole life because of man order. They were ordered to do something and now they suffer with guilt or remorse. I have a hard time. I have a hard time with decisions and judgments, with ego, and not being able to flip a conscious positive pattern to it. Why were you involved? Why did you do this? Why? These are the whys. I'm a why girl. My dad, oh my gosh, my dad would be so mad as a little girl because he'd get punished and I'd say, can I say one more thing? I have a why, but I need to speak because I would never allow my father to silence my voice chakra, because that means I'm silencing my sacral chakra. Remember, we became the unrooted. Well, guilt and remorse is part of our sacral chakra. So I'm moving up the chakra line in case nobody noticed. But even a judge is schooled to say fair and balanced. I'm going to dare to say, how many judges do you know that are fair and balanced these days without having a conditioned pattern or a conditioned theory already webbed by other man before them? That's hard. That's hard. That's why I tell people, when you go to psychologists or you into the psychiatrics, you make damn sure they're balanced metaphysically and physically to find the conscious and the unconscious and allow that unconscious those dark nights of the soul to become those Knight Templars. Find it. They're out there. And if not, then you get two, right? We do it here. I don't know why nobody else does it, but we do it here. Folks, I got to get to break. This is a conversation. I love the comments. Keep them coming. I loved to be asked so we could flip. See you. We'll get right back.
I laid down on Sunday, dreading the morn to be, dreading my life. I'm so tired of the paper chase, tired of the average pace, tired of the lies. When I woke up, the sirens read, just as the ceiling fell. They stayed just in time. Make my way into the streets. No one was watching me. They ran for their lives. This kindness feels the sky, and the ground begins to shake. That I'm still alive. But it's just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? Just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world? I'll be waiting in the morning light. The sun comes up to meet the night. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. The sun comes up, it's gonna be alright. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. I'll be waiting in the morning light. The sun comes up, it'll be alright. I'll be waiting. It's just a Monday for me. Who would have thought it'd be the end of the world?
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, welcome back. So, yep. Mondays. Waking up on a Mondays, right? Here we come. Bedhead Monday. I love it. Still in your pajamas? Where are you? What coast? We're talking about guilt and remorse. That's where we were. You know what? I know being here on the military broadcasting radio, or mbrradio.us, or however you're listening to this. I know there's a lot of you who are active military going through these guilt and remorse. And I know there's a lot of PTSDs, and I know there's a lot of veterans who have thoughts and they ponder this. And I don't want you pondering this anymore. If some of the things that we talk about, we can't tap, I taught before the tapping, right? The thymus, we tap, breathe in the nose, breathe out. It's really important when we start to feel anxious, when we start to feel anger, resentment because of our guilt, remorse, or sadness, depression, anxieties, breathing and tapping, right? Breathing and tapping. If you follow my website, or hopefully maybe MBR might post it too, I'm going to give you a little EFT tapping. Psychologists use it. So you're having alternative medicine, Western medicine, Eastern medicine. They're all using it. It's called EFT tapping. Your head, your brows, your sides. This is another way to rewire our thinking pattern as we speak. And I'll put a little spliff out there. I can't only do like a 1 hour show a week here. So you'll have to follow me on TWOCPT. It means the world of conscious positive thinking. Okay. So I'll put that because I think it's really important. And these are just some little self-awarenesses that might help you if you don't have somebody, to pick you up at that particular moment, because you never know when it's going to hit. You never know when that emotion is going to hit. Just before the show, I was talking with somebody, and they said beautiful, kind words. But I asked in back how they were. And as an empath, I felt their remorse. I felt that inside. And I had to come out of it. I had to send them healing energy and know that when I'm done, I'm going to help them, because they have that. They have that. And I love that. I love that Father, Mother, God allows me to feel them. So I know how to help. So I know how to twist it. But let's get back to guilt. Now that we just said that because of that song. Another one, the state of who has committed an offense, especially consciously. That was the last one we left up on. And now the third one, I tell you, guilt has so many. So who's making these up? I love. The third one is a feeling of deserving blame for others. That's why I just told you about the empath. The feeling of deserving blame for others. That's empathic, right? That is us allowing that energy to say, yes, you're right, I'm wrong. No, shut up, ego. I am not. No, I'm not. Don't accept that. I had another discussion, with people who are asking the same thing. MJ, you're in the military and now you're doing conscious positive thinking. Then that means they're not healed, my friend, because I healed it. And who the hell are you to judge me? Nobody. Nobody's allowed to judge any one of my brothers and sisters of arms, because they stood up for, where is it? Where's my Janis Joplin fans? Freedom. They stood up for us. They stood for us to be able to speak and do this. They stood for us so we don't have to have our guilt and remorse for what? For being on that line? Before you talk and before you speak, use that conscious positive thinking from your heart of kindness. See how I went right to my heart before you do that? Yeah. I believe that, to be in all honesty. But you see, guilt keeps going. More definitions. For God's sakes. No wonder our brains are confused. Guilt. To cause somebody to feel guilt. To be guilty. Well, if I have guilt of a stance that I didn't take on a conscious mind, how then can I make somebody feel guilty? That is subjective to ego and judgment, Webster. To make somebody feel guilty, shame on you. Who's doing that? Because that's not Father, Mother, God. So if you are a Bible-toting Christian and you're out there and your ego wants to point to somebody else to say, you're doing that wrong, I suggest you open up the Psalms. Yeah. Because that's not conscious positive. even in the Kabbalah. Open it up, because the same thing exists. That is guilt, that energy that you reflect and I want to absorb. That means I haven't healed if I got angry. Now, sadness and depression are something different. You shouldn't allow that. Shouldn't. Ooh, I be shouldn't all over myself today. We are not going to allow that. I don't have to allow that, because I have my path as you have your path, right? Nobody says that my path has to parallel yours. That's man. Again, I'm going to go back all the way back to one of the other episodes, all the way. I've only done 4, but I'm getting there on this channel. So on one of the episodes, I said, we are all one. We are the I am that I am. And that I am means God, that Christ light inside of all of us. And he has that plan. And he brings that plan forth by all of us. We are his soldiers. We are his warriors. We are his pawns. And we are here to learn. And we are here to learn conscious, positive thinking. And when we get to learn conscious, positive thinking, we don't have to suffer. Yep, we can be remorseful. But remorsing on what? Guilt? Which one of these damn guilts? Nope. You were ordered on that front line, and it's a survival. It is a survival, right? You learn how to survive. You learn to take commands. We don't ask for anything else besides Father, Mother, God's forgiveness if we feel that guilt. And you should not feel that guilt, because you are here on a mission. Should. I just said should again. Wow. I have to tap that out. That's a bad word. Should is a demand, just like a demand to take our free will. That word should, that's what that means. Webster. Look at Webster. Should means a forceful action that you should do. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm here to help. So I'm sorry about the word should if you hear it, because I don't want you to think that. I want you to think that there's a beautiful way to twist everything, and that you have it inside of you. You have it. You just need the right person and parallel energy to tap it out. We tap it out and understand where it comes from. It's beautiful. It truly is a beautiful thing when we can do that. We have to take a break. And then once we come back, I want to dig further into our sacral area, because that's usually where some of this stuff relies. So see you here in a couple minutes. Be right back.
You're going back in?
There's still men out there. God damn. When I go home, people ask me, hey, Hoot, why do you do it, man? Why? Just some kind of war junkie? I won't say a goddamn word. Why? They won't understand. They won't understand why we do it. They won't understand.
This cave is a one-stop shop to heal whatever ails you. Whether you just need downtime, whether you need respiratory or lymphatic, blood pressures, just any type of program that is medically necessary to you, I am sure salt's going to play one of those factors. I mean, we use saline for our eyes, we use salt water for our ears, we gargle with salt water for when we have sore throats, and we're even putting salt water spray, nasal sprays by our doctors up our nose. Except most of these things that are by our big pharma or our doctors are actually not salts, like Epsom salt. It's not even a salt. This is true to form. We're not kidding anybody. The properties are what they are. You can look it up in science magazines, health magazines. Himalayan salt is the only salt you want. You can digest it
You can eat it, burn it. You can lay in it like tub baths. You can use the actual steams with all the minerals so that you can actually put those minerals back in our skin and our face over hot steamy water. Salt, when you put the light on, sometimes they sweat, sometimes they water. Oh my gosh, my rock is leaking water. And that is the most perfect rock. I always tell everybody, I want that rock back. Because 1 out of every 100 rocks might sweat. And that's, it doesn't mean it's bad or good. It just means it's that much better. It's just that much better, right? Because we don't do negatives here. We do anything that's positive, that's what we do. Except our ions, we have to keep our ions negative. Why? Because the negative ion in the density of the salt creates our body to be a higher in pH balance, right? So that's the goal. Our goal is to raise our body in pH, lower the acidity level, because then we all become healthy. Healthy like weight, healthy like bacteria, viruses, fungus. None of them can penetrate. So that's the cool thing about our salt. So why not take a seat and get every amount of healing that your body can actually have for 1 hour in the salt cave. Let's get healthy together.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Okay. So, yeah, if you always are on MBR, that's a little bit of a different commercial, right? It is actually one of the healing modalities, and I want to reach out because wherever you live, I am sure somewhere nearby is a Himalayan salt cave. I did a lot of my healing, and that's mine. Yes, I do own it. I'm not going to mess up with words here. It is mine, and I do heal my vets in there, and I do heal other people in there. Himalayan salt comes from a mile below the cave. A mile below the surface in Pakistan. It's the only place you can find it actually is in Pakistan. Imagine that, all our overseas military people. So the Kira mines in Pakistan, if you've never been there, you can go in them, and you can go further than a mile deep. It's amazing. And just to have that much poundages in that little area that you saw, now it's that was an old commercial, probably about 5 years ago now, but right now it has 51,000 pounds of salt in the Grand Cave, and in the catacomb it has 29,000. And the catacomb's small; it's only about 100 square feet, and the Grand Cave is about 400 square feet. But the poundages of salt, the minute you go in there, the frequency inside of there is 696 hertz, right? Most of us vibrate around 350 hertz. When we can vibrate higher, we become calmer. When we can breathe ionized air, we have more of an ability to use our crown and our third eye chakra, and to establishing a higher conscious thinking. And it brings some of that in from our shadows of the dark into fruition. But as you're in there, what happens is we leave go a lot of these egos and judgments of guilt and remorse, right? We emotionally allow them to be left go. And when I do counseling in there, yep, tears are flying, but who gives shit, right? Tears will fly. I call them diamonds because to me, the diamond, and I love crystals, so diamonds is the hardest gem or stone there is in our world. And that means they cut through the bullshit, and they can sever through anything. Diamond tips on blades to cut through concrete. Diamond tips to cut through tile. I mean, come on, think of it. So those diamonds out of our eyes means we're healing. And sometimes we have to let them go. And sometimes we have to let them go, and we could be humbled and have all the grace and gratitude in the world for them. Doesn't mean we're sad or we're broken. It means that we're healing. It means that our heart space is now opened up that much more. So we don't have guilt and we don't have remorse. We just have life learning lessons, and everybody goes through them. Everybody. It doesn't matter if you're military or not. You have life lessons, and you're going to figure out guilt and remorse by the community or your family or man who will tell you that's screwed up, man. That is fudging screwed up. Well, yeah, who are you? Who are you to tell me that I fudged up? Who are you? How about nicer words? How about, hey, bro, hey, sis, that's hard. Can we talk about how you're feeling? Can we talk about you? Can we talk about why? But we don't, because our egos and our judgments are conditioned to wallow back and wham back with anger and resentment. They're not good. Because if we're anger and we have resentment, we're going right back to remorse and guilt. So we have to figure them out. Anything that makes us angry. What was the trigger to make it there? Where was the trigger? And we got to get in the habit. Come on, guys. Get in, girls. Didn't mean to leave you out. But we got to get in the habit. Anytime that we got a trigger, write it down. You know, I'll help you. Call me if you need to, and I'll find somebody to help you. I got a slew of beautiful people who can flip that unconscious negative that you don't even know about into a beautiful conscious pattern if I don't have the time to help you. But I'll be here. I want to help. That's why I chose this. And thank God for MBR, because it allows me not to speak to one. It allows me to speak to all of you. And how glorious and honorable is that? I know some of them on here, they need to open and express. They do. They have to have this, because if we don't speak it, we don't heal it. It's speak it, heal it, honor it, love it, let it go. That's the pattern. People who have addictions, you have a 12-step pattern. Here, we don't have 12 steps, right? We only have like 5. So it's easier. It's easier. It's a lot easier. So don't say you can't do it. You're not willing. That would be the word. You're not willing to do it, because we all have it. We all have the ability to do it. And I told you in my belief system, I'm only 5'4", but I would go up against a 7-foot guy and say, I dare you to knock it off my shoulder. I dare. There it is. Who knows? I may lose, but I'm going to go down. I was going to go down fighting for my honor, for my right, for my freedom, for those not to squish me. That's who I was. And now I don't have to, because now I just smile. I just smile and go, oh, God, love you. You're still broken. You're still hurting. Let me help you, my brother, my sister. Let me help you flip it. Because it's the guilt and the remorse that people want to put inside this thing. We got to clear it. We just got to clear it. There's no reason for it. And right now, think about the things that as an open book. And I don't want you to put them online because it's personal. But I want you to sit there and I want you to really write in a book every time you feel guilt or you feel a remorse. And then I want to know why you feel that. Write to me. Tell me. Then I can help you. I don't have to put it online. It's nobody else's business. We can do it together, But these are the things. You got to find the triggers. The conversation I had, and I love it. I just got done with the whole Harmony Festival yesterday, and it was a very long day of energy pushing and healing. And so, that's why I said, I don't care. Bedhead Monday, here we go. But the minute I heard it, I couldn't get out of that healer, that counselor. And the minute I heard it, and it wasn't meant to be that way, I immediately wanted to fight that trigger, going, where's that trigger? Where is it? Let's go. Let's push it. What happened before you went to sleep? Where was it? Ironic that phone call came just before my show. I felt it, not because of me, but I felt their pain. Where can I fix it? Father, Mother, God, help me. Where can I fix it? You pray, you meditate, you tap. Let me help them. Let me find that. And we did. So after my show, I have about an hour worth of work to figure it out in the Akashics. You watch this beautiful being of light. I'll flip it for him. And within 2 or 3 months, the smell, the sound, the frequency, that particular frequency, he'll let it go. I promise. Because I work for them. I work for God. I work for them. That's who I work for. I don't work for our government. I don't work for anybody. I work for Father, Mother, God. And I'm here to try. I don't want to use the word try. That's a bad word too. Don't use the word try. Saying, I am grateful. I am honored to be able to do it. I am grateful to do it. I'm going to do my best. But don't say try, because try means, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Try. We should look that one up. Wait, you want to do that? Let's look that one. Because that's crazy. The word try. Yeah, we're not going to do this. Let's look up the word try. To try. Try is to make an attempt, right? You can do it if you try to attempt to do something. Now, if you think about the word attempt, words again, man's words, attempt. So we're not trying anything. We're going to do it. We are honored to do it. We are gracious to do it. We are humble to do it. I am God thankful to be able to do it for you. Ready? Look at just that little, these little words. Look at these little words. Hope, try, should. These words should not exist. They're conditioned and they're very hard to get rid of. You have to catch yourself and go, what? I'm not telling anybody what to do. Stop using the word should. Hope? What do you mean hope? I have faith. I don't need hope. I believe in Father, Mother, God. I don't need hope. I need faith. Faith that it's going to happen. Faith that I could pray to somebody, and faith that I know where we're going to be. Right? Now the word try. Well, no, I'm not going to try. If somebody asks me to do something, it's either, no, I'm sorry, not at this time. I can't do it. It's not going to work for me. Or it's going to be the word try is going to say, well, when I get to it. No. So use the word, no, I can't do it at this moment. Because then nobody's expecting anything from you. But when you use simple words like these and you're like, dude, I said I would try. No. You either can do it now or you can't. You see, boom, we're cutting it out because we're not allowing words to feel guilt and remorse that we didn't try or we hope to do it, right? No, don't put somebody who's expecting something and let them down. Soldiers didn't let anybody down. We still have our freedom, right? So in common practice, we don't want that because then we have the guilt. Shit, I said I would try to do that. Damn it. I hoped for it. No. Now you see those two words automatically make me feel like I did something wrong. And there's the guilt. That's not it. So if I remove those words and I can either say, yeah, I don't think I could do that right now. Right? But maybe in the future I can. But at this moment, I just can't. I hope you find somebody that hope they're Mary Jo. I pray that somebody comes in that they can, turn that around for you. See how that works? It's a practice and I still do it, but I catch myself. It's quicker in catching myself, not putting demands on me because I love me. And that's where we need to start with guilt and freaking remorse. Loving you. Look in the mirror and say, I love my eyes. I love my face. I love my hair. Look at I could care less. My husband goes, you going to go with that bedhead like that? Look at that hair. Yeah, I am. Because I am me. I am only me. I can't be anybody else. And I can only go into my life path, my life purpose that I was given. So strip it down. Take out freaking the AI. Don't like AI. You'll know Mary Jo's not an AI kind of girl. I don't like it. It gives you false impressions. It gives you false beliefs. It gives you false of everything. And then what's going to happen? AI is leading to people having guilt and having remorse because of AI. Don't do it. stay steadfast. Or announce, I'm using AI, right? Don't lead people into a wrong impression or a wrong judgment. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. All right, folks. When we come back, we're going to wrap this up, but we got to go to break. See you in a minute.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through a crowd. Got made fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is One More Try. I put too much stock in bad advice, 'cause anything worth leaving is worth loving twice. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches. God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Going somewhere. Yeah,
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Wow. Just what we were talking about. Guilt and remorse. And there's Lauren. I don't care. I'm going to go somewhere. In other words, she did not accept whatever anybody was going to tell her that she couldn't do or she was not able to do. She had the strength, the power within to twist whatever debacle that song. I love that. And I know Grizz got to interview her, and she made the statement how beautiful it was that her songs were actually helping some of our beautiful vets. And that's not why she made them. But if it's sources, right, that's what music's about. That's what the frequencies are. Those, right? The same as the cave. Inside that soul cave, that frequency, that 696, you can't help but let go. Let it go. Bring it down. Feel you. Who are you? Come into the raw, strip down, right? Strip it down. You don't have to be fancy for anybody. You don't have to do what people tell you to do. Really, you don't. That's a choice. And if you're not comfortable with that choice, rethink it, right? Rethink where you are in that life. Because that means your gut, your soul is saying something to you, right? It is. Look at Lauren. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to be something. Why? Because that's her purpose, her life purpose and her soul purpose. There it is again. Just because she flipped the negative thought process of everybody around her. She didn't care. She doesn't care. We have to honor our heart, our love, our self-love, right? And if we don't feel good in the morning, honor that. Sorry. I need to develop. I need to figure out why I don't feel good, right? Where's the conscious business owners or people who put us in charge of something? Where are they? They need this lesson, right? If your employee wakes up in a shitty freaking mood, do you really want them as a salesperson? Do you really want them answering your phones? Do you really want them engaging with your people? No. So if we don't have a conscious positive because of guilt, remorse, or whatever it be, no. Collaboration. Hello. Hello, my name is. Thank you, Lauren. Hi, my name is MJ. How can I help? How can I see the event between us that is not balanced? We got to balance. And if we don't balance within ourselves and the love of ourselves, we have to love ourselves to balance. Look in that mirror. And every time you look in that mirror and you find something wrong, write it down. Why do I feel this way? Why? Dig deep. It is about digging so deep. But I'm telling you, you might cry those diamonds, right? Diamonds might be there. Or in the men, their diamonds normally is more forceful, right? And that's okay too. As long as it's not on a person. Take it out on the punching bag. Take it out on your lifter or your waiter things. Or go fish and get that lunker in there with, and get a smaller poundage rod and get the lunker, right? 20-pound lunker on 5 tests. Woo! Maybe we're doing it. Right? So you see the difference? We can do anything that we put our mind to. If our skill set is to catch fish on the least bit of poundage or tippet, then why is it that we can't handle our emotions that way? Where are they? Because guilt and remorse comes from the conditioned patterns of man. Yep. You're going to sit there and say, MJ, we're talking about killing people. I understand. I do. And here we are again. You're feeling that remorse because thou shalt not kill. Well, guess what? God puts you there. Archangel Michael doesn't have a head and a sword. So do you believe in Archangel Michael? Do you believe in the Knights Templars that were sent by God in the beginning? Yep. Some of them lost their way. That's okay. Unfortunately, they had to leave that go because they lost their way. Just like us who are traumatized with these events, we're losing our way because of guilt and remorse. Not that I stood for your freedom. You're very welcome. Let me live my life now. Or let me continue, right? Lifers, you beautiful, beautiful Templars. I also posted on my Facebook page, and I think it's on Instagram. You can look that one up. To CPT, TWO, CPT. And that is the military side of the world of conscious positive thinking, because sometimes people can't understand the military's logic of thinking. I honored it. I put this on all of my other sites, because I always tell them, if you're not a vet, you don't know what we've gone through, or those who are still over there and how they suffer. Maybe it's time for you to understand them, not them to come back to understand what's going on here. Flip it. Flip it. Did you see this? Here you go. No, I was not on the front line. But that doesn't mean I don't feel the pain. That doesn't mean that I don't understand that pain, because my belief system is empathic and it's clear sentient now. There's very few empathy things that I'll feel like this morning. They're more clear sentient to help find those triggers, figure it out. And at that, what do you have to lose? You're already suffering. Try it. That's all I can say. I don't want to keep harping. I want you to put it down, and I want you to dig deep, and I want you to write your triggers, and I want you to call me so I can get you somebody if you can't, right? I don't know. There's not a line for MBR Radio, a phone number to call, but you can definitely tag on this, tag on whichever ones. I promise it'll get to me. DM them. DM my personal, it's all up there. You can have MJ Gonzalez on Facebook. You'll see me. The World of Conscious Positive Thinking. You'll see me on Facebook, or you can go to TWO CPT, which is the shorter version to write all that out, and Instagram. I believe everybody can do a belief and switch if they want to. I believe that Father, Mother, God is here to save every single one of us from that begrudging, that humiliating, that guilt, that remorse that we feel, especially if it was in our time purpose and that was a learning lesson for us, right? Right. If you consciously did something on the face of this earth that was outside of the plan because of your judgment and egos, or you were practicing conditioned by your family for whatever reason, or your society to do something, or peer pressure, and you got yourself in trouble, and consciously that frontal lobe isn't developed until you're 25 years old, you really need to let that go, and so does society. Yeah, I'm going to say it again. There are people out there counseling those get themselves in that kind of deep trouble, and that is peer pressure. And so we keep our eyes out for them, right? Go to that level. Our children are children until they're 25, whether anybody wants to like it or not. So our government are taking our children at 18 years old. That frontal line, that frontal lobe isn't even there. And then they want to know at 30, 40, and 50, the PTSD, the suffrage. Well, maybe we should rethink about the age bracket. Or did they consciously do that because of no fear? Think about it. Under 25, we don't really have any fear, right? We just go. We're going to live forever, right? We're at the apex of our young adulthood with a lot of life lessons to learn. Yeah. It's there. Reach out. I'm here. My name's MJ. This is the world of conscious positive thinking. I will do my best to flip every pattern, and I'm humbled and gracious to do it for anybody who needs that work. Until next Monday at 10 o'clock, signing off. Besitos.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike